Now, what are the factors which affect the performance not considered in the Kern method? So, in Kern method has been criticized for a number of reasons. Among them, we can mention the following. The first reason is bypasses and leakage streams. So, the method assumes that the shell fluid flow is perpendicular to the tubes. This is not true for the following reason. First, at the Buffel window, the flow is parallel to the tubes, as we have just discussed. At the Buffel window, it means that this region, this is the Buffel window. Okay, this region shows the Buffel window. So the flow path of the fluid is like this. Okay, so in this region, the fluid is going to be flow either parallel or counter to the tube side flow. So it is not going to be cross flow. So this is the first reason. The second reason is in the region between the Buffel tips. So this is the region between the Buffel tips. Okay, this is the region between the Buffel tips. Okay, the fluid diverts towards the periphery of the bundle where frictional resistance is lower. So fluid, if there is much quantity of a fluid, then it is going to, okay, here from this figure you can assume. Okay, yes, this is the outer periphery of the shell. This is the front view of the shell and tube heat exchanger. So at this outer side, here you can see that in this arrow, the fluid is going to flow between these clearance of the Buffel and the shell side. Okay, when there is a huge flow of the mass of the fluid, then this fluid is not going to come, some fluid is not going to come at this path. It is going to cross this Buffel from this clearance. Okay, so this fraction of flow is called the bypass stream, which bypass the tubes and directly go from this side to this side. The magnitude of this stream is higher in the heat exchanger, having a big gap between the tube bundles and the shell diameter. So this is the gap between the shell diameter and the Buffels, or we can say that the tube bundles, from which the fluid is going to pass from one side to the another side without flowing over the surface of the tubes. Obviously, this flow is ineffective for the heat transfer because it is not going to flow over the surface of the tube where actual heat transfer is going to take place. Okay. So the third reason is, since the Buffel holes crossed by the tubes, we know that all the tubes which are going to cross from the Buffels. So Buffels have the holes slightly higher than the outside diameter of the tubes. So there is a clearance between the outer surface of the tube and the inner surface of the Buffel. So from that clearance also, between the there is a clearance between the tube and the Buffel, and the part of the shell fluid leaks across this clearance. Okay, this is also leakage through the free area between the Buffel and the shell. This Buffel shell leaks are completely inefficient from the point of view of the heat exchange. So these are the limitations of the Kern's method, which can be removed by the Bell method. Now let's understand what is the Bell-Delaware method. In 1950, at Delaware University, a research program in shell and tube heat exchanger was developed with the sponsorship of the Tabular Exchanger Manufacturing Association, TIMA, and the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, ASME. Many researchers worked in this program and published their conclusion in several reports over that decade. The final synthesis of the study was published as a heat exchanger design method by Kenneth Bell in 1963. This is known as the Bell or Delaware method or Bell-Delaware method. Now let's understand what is Bell-Delaware method. So the Delaware method utilizes empirical correlations for the heat transfer coefficient and the friction factor in the flow perpendicular to the bank of the tubes. These are referred to as an ideal tube bank correlations. In Buffelled heat exchanger, this type of flow is approximated in the region between the Buffel tips. In the Buffel windows, however, the flow is partially parallel to the tubes. Furthermore, only part of the tube shell side fluid flows the main flow path through the exchanger due to the presence of leakage and the bypass stream. These all points we have discussed just in previous slides. The correction factors for the leakage and bypass flows are correlated in terms of the flow areas of the leakage, bypass, and the main cross flow streams. This approach will give more satisfactory prediction of the heat transfer coefficient and the pressure drop than the Kern's method, as it takes into account the effect of leakage and bypassing and can be used to investigate the effect of construction tolerances and use of the sealing strips. So in this method, what BEL does, we first found the heat transfer coefficient based on the ideal tube bank, where there is by assuming there is no leakage or any bypassing. After getting the heat transfer coefficient for the ideal tube bank, we are going to multiply the correction factor which is generated due to the leakages and bypasses or the main cross flow streams. So by that we are going to get the heat transfer coefficient for the shell side, which is more accurate as compared to the Kunz methods. Okay, so let's understand different streams or different kind of leakages or bypasses path. First, A streams. Here in this figure you can see that the A streams, this is the tube to buffle hole leakage. Here we know that we have discussed that there is a clearance between the tube hole and the outer diameter of the tubes. So there is a clearance between the buffle hole and the tube. So from that clearance the fluid is going to bypass or leak. So this is the tube to buffle hole leakage stream through the clearance between the tubes and the tube hole in the buffles. So this is the stream A, which is not going to participate in heat transfer. Now second one is the stream B. Here you can see that in this figure this is the stream B, which is a cross flow stream through the tube bundle. This stream is considered to be fully effective. This is the stream between this two buffle tip, okay, or we can say that between this region where there is a cross flow of the fluid. So when fluid is going in this path, so in this two region, or we can say that between the tip of the buffle there is always a cross flow stream, which is the effective stream for the both heat transfer and the pressure drop. So Kunz method is only based on the B stream. Okay. Next one is the stream C. So what is the stream C? This is the bundle to the shell bypass stream through the annular space between the tube bundle and the shell. It flows between the successive buffle window. This stream is only partially effective for the heat transfer as it is contact in the tube near the tube bundle periphery, as we have discussed earlier in our previous slide. There are some fluid streams which is going to be flow at the outer or we can say that at just inner layer of the shell, or we can say that the between the clearance of the tube bundles. This is the tube bundle, so there is a gap between this tube bundle and the shell diameter. So in this gap, in this clearance, there are some fluid which is going to be flow, which is known as the stream C, which is partially effective for the heat transfer as it contacts the tube near the tube bundle periphery. So it is going to only in a contact with some of the tube periphery. Okay. The next one is the E stream. So what is E stream? This is the shell to buffle leakage. Here we can see that this is the buffle and this is the shell diameter. So there is some clearance between these two, and the stream which is going to flow from this clearance is known as the E stream. So this stream is the least effective for heat transfer, particularly in laminar flow, because it may not come in contact with the tubes. So here in this figure you can see that there is a clearance here, and the stream which is flown from this clearance is known as the E stream. Okay. Now what is F stream, which is not shown in this figure? Suppose there are some shell and tube heat exchanger which uses the partition bypass. Here you can see that this is a partition bypass. So in this type of heat exchanger, some fluid is going to be flow at this surface, which is not going to come into the surface of the tubes. So this stream is known as the F stream. If in the front view you can see this is our F stream. So this is tube passes partition bypass stream through open passages created by the tube layout partition lengths in a multi-pass unit. This stream is less effective than the A stream because it comes into contact with less heat transfer area per unit volume. However, it is slightly more effective than the C streams because it will in a contact with the center tubes. Now, from this earlier discussion, the fluid streams C, E and F bypasses the tubes, which reduces the effective heat transfer area. The stream C is main bypass stream and will be particularly significant in pull-through bundle exchangers where the clearance between the shell and bundle is of necessity large. So whenever there is a large clearance between the tube bundles and the shell diameter, the amount of, or we can say that the flow rate of the stream C is obviously higher. So stream C can be considerably reduced by using sealing strips. There is a solution to that problem. This kind of sealing strip, as you can see in this figure, this kind of strip is used to reduce the amount of C stream. In this region between the buffel tips, part of the fluid diverts. These are the strips which is used to divert the fluid of the periphery of a bundle where frictional resistance is lower, as you can see in this figure. So this fraction of the flow is called the bypass strip. The magnitude of this stream is higher in the heat exchangers having a big gap between the tube bundle and the shell dia. One way to solve this problem is to install sealing strip which are flat bars. Here you can see that these are the sealing strips which are used to solve this problem, which are flat bar inserted in buffels. These are inserted in this buffel. Here you can see that these are the buffels and these strips are inserted in this buffels. This sealing strip redirect the flow. It guides the flow in the direction of the tube outer surface toward the center of the bundles.